Good morning, everyone. Sarah here at Three Little Potters. I am in the midst of the holiday rush, so everything around me is a mess. I am getting ready to unpack this kiln. Should be some new things in there. The top shelf has some crystal glaze experiments, and I am expecting those to not come out. Just a quick note on that. When you're doing crystal glazes, you're really looking at sort of, slow cools and then stopping at certain degrees to let the crystals grow even more. I did not do that. Sometimes I'll test a crystal glaze to see if I can get anything with my normal firing because I'm usually not committed enough to do a whole kiln load that has just crystal glazes in it. So let's pull it. We're at 2:52 today, so I've done a good job waiting. Oh boy. All right. We have ornaments. Yes, I actually did ornaments. My wires do not look like they've bent. I do not see anything dripping, and nothing's attached. Woohoo! I am noticing, however, that my Christmas trees are not a very bright green this time. I don't necessarily mind this color, but they definitely don't match the other ones. Hold on, I think I've got another one on the shelf here. Yeah, some of these things are not like the others. I think they'll still be pretty with the gold, even though it's not quite the same color. So most of my crystal glazes do not look very crystally here. I'm gonna say probably not so much. This is steel blue crystal. This is indigo underglaze. I guess I'm going to put a clear coat on those. I was hoping it was going to be one of those velvet underglaze that go a little bit glossy, but it really didn't. This is black ink stain with glacier over top, and again with the steel blue crystal. And this is 1.5 grams of rutile in the crystal base. Kind of disappointed in those. Kind of disappointed. So I think for these I'm going to hit them with an acrylic varnish. I like the way they look. I just wish they were a little less matte. And these are variegated slate with a little bit of strontium crystal magic on the edges. All these ornaments, huh? So this is, I bought these ornament trees last year and had high hopes and didn't use them a single time. So this is their first firing. So this is the black stain wash wiped back with just clear. I don't know, black's not very Christmassy, is it? I definitely like how it reveals the pattern though, so maybe with like a gold ribbon or something it would be okay. These ones are a little bigger. I really expected this to bend and drop these on the ground, so I am pleasantly surprised that was not the case. Steel blue crystal, a little bit of crystal growth on that one. Variegated dove. And here we have glacier and stain wash again. I don't know if that's not a very Christmassy color. Hopefully somebody will like these a little bit. Okay, I do have a couple Christmas trees that are different this time. I went with the variegated dove gray with a little bit of white dip at the top. This is where the variegated dove gray and my studio white overlap. Another one of those. And this is my green glaze gone too thin, but very country-esque feel to it. So don't hate it. And if anybody is doing, don't put your stars up too high. I thought that would be a good idea, but now I'm worried that they're just going to break off in shipping. So that was probably not smart of me. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to keep these ones. And if I didn't say, this is aventurine blue-green, which is normally much greener than this. All right, I went ahead and pulled the duplicate Christmas trees. This one is variegated slate. I think I went a little thick with that glaze. Strontium Crystal Magic at the tip. And this is that same glaze on a vase. Sort of was working on this idea of wanting to get a print on something. So what I did here is I threw a closed form and then I rolled the outside and then I cut the closed part off to make it a vase again. So the rim, it needs a little work, the technique, but I noticed when we were making pumpkins last month that creating that air bubble inside of the pot gave you enough so that you could push against it without it collapsing. So my thought here was trying to get texture on a vase by using that same sort of technique. Somewhat successful. Okay, these are emerald green over studio white on the brown bear clay. So I have a whole bunch of very small trees in this kiln, and they are going to go with my little Alpine village set. So there'll be like tiny miniature tree sets, I guess, available with the houses. Spectrum's ginger. Chun seafoam. Again, Chun seafoam. Okay, so some of my Alpine Village houses there. Bowls looking pretty spectacular. And then we've got some ring dishes. Trying to get a ring dish listing up for Black Friday. That would be great. Floating celadon over studio white. And that place is finally back to doing what I like. Okay, this is again emerald over studio white with a generous amount of dirty snow as a flux. I feel like it's dark in here today, but it's really pretty in person. I like that new combo. Night floating blue and dirty snow. And I've got a few of that combo here. So ooh, these are cute. Okay, so I do these mini mugs. I feel like I need the gloves not on to show you. These are my mini mug ornaments. If I have time this month, I'd love to do a tutorial on those. They're always a great seller when I can take the time to make them. This is Ginger mini mug. Yeah, I'm trying to train myself to throw them off the hump because they are really hard on your hands when you're centering such small pieces of clay. This one needs some grinding. A little thick on the glaze. That was, I believe, strontium gloss over white. Strontium gloss over dove gray. I did a lot of these in this kiln load because I adjusted my top temperature by 10 degrees. And I know that glaze in particular likes being a little hotter than what I've been giving it lately. Also trying to get some of my, this is it over white. So strontium gloss and dove gray over the studio white. It's very pretty on the edge. Yeah, definitely a little generous on these. This was Glacier. Oh, grinding, grinding, grinding. Hopefully it'll grind right off easily. Ooh, a little grind on this one too. This more small charcuterie bowls. Is the season. Texture dark cloud. I went a little thick on the inner edge of this and it's pretty in person. Yeah. Very subtle. Floating blue over studio white with snow, dirty snow. Same combo over my night glaze. Ancient jasper by itself. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's definitely got some of that, a little bit of red in the bottom on that one. This is ancient jasper with some dirty snow over top. I really like that actually. And this is variegated dove gray with studio white on the rim. This mini mug is Chun Seafoam with a little bit of dirty snow on the rim. It makes it go sort of a metallic. And yeah, finally a temperature that Chun Seafoam likes. That is another glaze that would prefer to be more at a true cone 6 or a little hotter. Emerald over brown bear. Little teeny trees. Still going. I know I've got a lot of small stuff in this kiln. What is this darkness on this? A teeny speck of something there. This is Sunrise with a little bit of fuzzy peach over. Definitely really loving Sunrise as a base. It's a kind of almost a really electric pink. I was wondering, going more true cone 6, if I was going to get a darker color out of these or a duller color, but the new Spectrum glazes are really holding their color at that temperature still. So and this is a Dove and Strontium gloss Christmas tree. Okay, look at some of my Alpine village houses. Not as much color as I was hoping. I've got some shallot on the roof here. I still think that's really sort of a cute rustic little house though. I do perhaps like it better with the emerald on the roof. This had fire brick on the door. Not really showing very much of that though. This is on the B-mix clay, and the strontium looks pretty. I like that glaze over texture. Probably showing the texture a little bit more than it did on some of the dark. That is fire brick and some, it's emerald on the roof with a lot more dirty snow than normal, so it's gone kind of that bluish run to it. Okay, so these ones, the roof is glazed, and then I wiped back the glaze around the door. So you get kind of more of a matte, glossy kind of look to it. You might prefer that style, I'm not sure. Cookie under this one. My kiln shelves are still really sloppy, so I'm trying to protect some wear here. This is Spectrum's Ginger. My Christmas trees, man, I really needed to mix that glaze better. I think it's a two-pronged thing. It's one of those ones, some glazes have that tendency to hard pan, and this one had done a little bit of that, so I think I had a lot of coloring on the bottom. I should have really spent more time with the immersion blender, continually working that in, but I also think the specific gravity for the last batch of trees was probably about 160 because it sat for a year, and the new batch is probably at 135 because I wanted them to stop pinging. Emerald green here. That glaze can crackle when it's a little bit too thick, so I was like, oh, I'll thin it down a little bit, but obviously thinned it down a little too much. Again, with the strontium gloss and the dove gray. Glacier. I feel like that's a good winter glaze, and I haven't used it for a while, so thought I'd break that out. Variegated dove and floating blue. Emerald white and dirty snow on this little mini mug. Glacier. I just peeked at the half shelf and it looks pretty good, guys. Hold on, I'm going to flip you around. I love the bright colors, and I love how that came out. I'm very excited about that. All right, let's talk about what we've got on this shelf. So, these are some new glazes that I just bought. And I bought Fruit of the Vine, I believe it is, Leaping Lizard, and Grapeful. And I did one coat of all of those, sort of in lines, which you can see here. That's the single coat. And then Honey Flux over the top of those. And it was Honey Flux one kind of, I didn't go all the way down on the Honey Flux. I wasn't sure how much it was going to run. So single coat to here, and then a double coat just to put some extra on the rim there. But pretty much 1-in-1 coat there. So again, with the Sunrise and Fuzzy Peach combo, personally, that is probably my current favorite combo that I'm doing. It's getting to be winter, and I love all things that are bright and pink and warm and happy. And here is Fuzzy Peach by itself. So loving Ancient Jasper here. Yeah, I'll have to show a picture of what that's doing a little bit. In the light, it's got a lot of really subtle variation to it. It's really pretty. Ooh, liking that too. Ancient Jasper over Dove Gray. I put something else on this. I'll have to think on that. I think there's something else on the rim there as well. So there may be a third glaze involved. This is, I believe, Textured Dark Cloud over Studio White. Doesn't look like it should though. This is Hanson with Red Stain with Honey Flux on the rim. And I think that that's really pretty. I actually think I would go do that combo in a bigger mug. It's got a really good sort of Christmassy cranberry feel. That is Hanson glaze, and I bet that'll actually brighten up as it cools. It's maybe a little bit hot right now. Hanson glaze with 5% red stain. So, ooh, sorry. I was expecting that underglaze to go yeah, anyway. It's black walnut and green tea, and I think black walnut looks like it likes the slightly hotter Kiln too. I wish I had remembered that I put that underglaze on the bottom when I started glazing that, or covered it, but it's okay. This is a snowflake candle holder. I think I'll put some gold on that or something. This is me trying that Iceman clay. So I feel like the Iceman clay is perhaps not quite as bright as B-Mix. It's still pretty, but it's a little bit duller in color. Or at least how that glaze shows on that. But this is Night and Chun Seafoam. Chun Seafoam over white. Again, if you're mixing your own, Chun Seafoam is one to put on your list. That's a always been a great seller for me. I would say it's one of my favorite glazes from the John Britt Mid-Range Glaze book. And this is it with Dove Gray. Textured Dark Cloud over Studio White. Strontium Gloss. And green tea. I know you can barely see the green tea, but it's on there. Oh, more mini trees. whole pile of them. Mini trees, more mini trees. I don't know where I'm gonna put them. Ah! Strontium gloss mini mug with dove. Sunrise mini mug. All right, my cone from that shelf is pretty much an exact full cone 6, so that's good. Okay, shelf 3, another full one. I'm looking at that house right there. That may be winning in the house department. That's the glaze I should have done on all of them. That looks like it might be great. And then some more not very green Christmas trees. That's okay. Planter. This is on Rue Stoneware, and this is the Fruit of the Vine, Grapple, and Leaping Lizard with Honey Flux over top. Liking it a little less on the Rue Stoneware, but I have grown to like this clay a little bit more. I have some ideas for what to do with Too Wet Stoneware, and I will say it didn't crack or anything on these planters, and I made a bunch of them, so they're not all in this kiln though. Hey. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so the roof is 1 coat of fire brick and 1 coat of seaweed. The outside of the house is Chunceladon, and the decoration, which is sort of raised and bumpy, I think is okay. I don't know if I do it again though, is a green designer liner. But I really do like that little house. I like this one too. I believe this is it fire brick or raspberry mist? I think it's actually I'll go with fire brick. Fire brick over white and clay left bare with just the roof. Yeah, that's cute. I like those ones better than the other houses that I did. This one, cute. This variegated slate with some SCM on this inner part of the house. They're super cute. I'm excited to see the Alpine Village listing. Hopefully I'll have time in between cooking to do that. The variegated slate bowl. This kiln is so full, guys. Textured kiwi on the bottom of this Christmas tree. And my clear LE needs to be mixed more and left to dehydrate. Adventurine green glaze. I do think that that light sage green will look okay with the gold though, so I'm not horribly upset by these Christmas trees, although they definitely don't match my other listing. Hopefully the other listing will sell out really quickly and then I'll post these and people won't be too disappointed. Again, slate with the SCM. Black walnut with green tea. I was definitely getting more of a matte finish on the black walnut last time, so I think that it also likes that hotter kiln, if I didn't say so already. Mini mug. It's Dove and Midnight. All right. So this was an experiment. Maybe I can put up a picture of what I did last year. Trying to make a fox. I was using Camelback Stroke and Coat. I don't know if that worked great with some designer liner for the face. I don't know if it's cute or not. I think what I did last year might have been cuter, but we'll see. I'll show a picture. This is emerald over white. Oh, I really love this color purple that I got. So this is that Fruit of the Vine purple with snow over top of it on Studio White. I hope that vibrant purple is coming through. That is exactly the lavendery purple that I like. So many of these purples are more like red purples, burgundy purples, and I really like a more blue purple. So yeah, I really love that glaze. And Leaping Lizard's really pretty too. It has sort of that sort of a vibrancy to the green that I don't have a lot of, so that makes me happy. Rose Quartz over Studio White. That's Mayco's Rose Quartz. And this is the Grapple without the speckles. Did it crawl? Yes, it crawled a little bit. I'm not surprised. I probably put that on thick and put it on into the kiln with a puddle of glaze in it. So Dove and Studio White. These small things are a killer, huh, guys? This is Variegated Dove and Midnight. Green Tea over Studio White. Ancient Jasper over Honey Flux. Again, Variegated Dove with Midnight. Variegated Dove with Mayco's Raspberry Mist. This was a test of the, yes, variegated slate blue on the Rue stoneware with the SCM, and I don't see any pinholing, so it's not a wowing me glaze combo, but it is not messed up. So Honey Flux and Fire Brick. I think I could have gone a little heavier on the Fire Brick. I'm not seeing a ton of color there. Spectrum's Textured Kiwi over Studio White. I'm not sure why this one looks like this. I'm pretty sure this is Night and Green Tea. Not much showing there, fairly all black, but that was the intent. This is Dove with Studio White. I like Dove as a base. It can go kind of really warm with Raspberry Mist. It can kind of be dark and moody with Midnight, or when you put it with white, it goes kind of this light blue. I feel like it's got a range of emotions and kitchen vibes that it covers. This is my two gray adventurine blue green. What else is in here? What's this? The slate blue mini mug and ring dish. Green tea and walnut mini mug. And an ornament. And we need more room. Okay, last shelf. It looks like my pie plate made it. And then a few things here. All right, this is my pie plate. It is not at all cracked. Rue stoneware for the win. So if you can find a glaze that works with the Rue stoneware, you can throw big. Yeah, so this is Fuzzy Peach, and it is a gift to Lisa Love Sarah from, it's for my mother-in-law for Christmas. She makes the best apple pies, and we all love her pies. And yeah, anyway, I thought that would be a nice gift. Ugh. Okay. So I thought I bought the navy blue underglaze. I did not buy the navy blue underglaze. I will try to cover this with something. And the combo didn't come out the way I wanted either. So this was Spectrum's Tiger's Eye with Fire Brick, and it is not looking like fire, and the blue is not a navy blue gloss. So I think I needed to get royal blue, not indigo, underglaze. And yeah. Okay. So this is the variegated dove gray on the roof. And then I did a little bit of that green designer liner around the windows. It's kind of cute. I think I might like those with the white clay. I'm not sure. If anybody has a preference on the white or brown clay with those, I'd love to hear it. A lavender mist on a refire, going pretty blue. Yeah, this glaze I think just wants to be hotter. It didn't do anything. This is the crystal base with neodymium, and it is just looking kind of whitish, lightish purple, maybe, but fairly just white. It's still cute, but it's dove and raspberry mist. Could my raspberry mist be too thick? It might be. It's looking a little bit different than normal, not as much variation, just more of a thicker raspberry color. And this is a refire. I loved this cup last time, and I was all ready to list it, and I realized it had something inside, like a chunk of kiln brick or something, and so I ground that out and put more glaze on the inside. I'm hoping it looks like it's good now. I'll have to see when it cools down. Really love this though. Looks kind of like a tiger. Very festive. Okay, so this, clearly the glaze I should have been using, is, you can see it a little on the edge there. This was a crystal glaze, and it is a Rutile no grind crystal base, different crystal base, definitely giving me better reaction than the other. I'm going to look into that crystal base a little bit more. Okay, so raspberry mist on the door, emerald green and white on the roof, just the designer liner around the windows, and that's pretty cute. Okay, this one may be a little too dark. Copper float here in this section, not thick enough, I guess, and then variegated dove on the roof, also not thick enough, as I have kind of just a shiny dark brown house. What happened? Why does it look like that? Textured turquoise, and I was wanting to see if textured turquoise would craze on the Iceman clay by Kentucky Mudworks, and it's just really, really thin for the amount of textured turquoise I put on there. Unhappy with that result. It didn't craze, but fuzzy peach. Some of these glazes look really nice with a spiral, so I've been a little bit more intentional about leaving a spiral in some of mine rather than smoothing it out, just because I feel like the spectrum floating glazes break so nicely over a bit of texture that having that kind of adds something to it. This is Laguna Sea Gold. Laguna Sea Gold over white. So the same glaze, which is kind of crazy, just how it reacts, I guess, to the titanium. And some of these are for my rustic village. Rustic Alpine village. Actually kind of like that. It has a good country aesthetic. And could have gone a little thicker here. Fruit of the vine, little bit of snow, and I just needed one more coat there. And my final thoughts are I probably liked this little house the most. Its roof is really pretty. This little bowl was a surprise. Since this was the look I was going for and bought glazes specifically for it, I am glad that that came out. And also my pie plate, just because it doesn't really have any flaws, and I really wanted something that didn't have flaws. So that's great. Thanks for watching. I'd love it if you liked and subscribed. I'm going to do another kiln opening probably Sunday, as I have a lot of work to get fired and listed in my shop. So thanks for watching.